Guys, how are you doing today? It's P.E. Gilbert, your blogger, writing consultant, and the author to the fantasy novella, The Sultan's Daughter. And today we are honoured to have an interview with the voice actor, Kevin Cutliffe. Kevin has given voice to characters in Wild House and Star Life, and he has a prominent role in MLA Entertainment's original web series, Project Infinity. Kevin is deeply passionate about what he does, driven, and has a maturity that belies his age. Here is the interview. Enjoy. Tell us a bit about yourself. Where do you come from, and how did this place give you the opportunity, or the opportunities, I should say, to become a voice actor?
Yeah, so I'm Kevin, and and I'm 18. I was born and raised here in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Atlanta is one of the biggest cities here in the South. So there's lots of opportunities to, especially with like movie making and film. It just brings out a lot of creative people. And my dad is a musician as well. He was born in Ireland. He does music there. He's pretty well known. So I've always had a chance to be kind of behind the mic. So even here at my home, or as it's traveling to the city, or just being with my dad, I think it's raised me up to be at the point that I am now.
I can see that. It's a very good background to have to be a voice actor. Good on you. You've taken advantage of it very well. What was the spark that made you decide to become a voice actor?
Well, I tell this story a lot to people, even though it's a little bit underwhelming. It's like, it's major to me. Where basically, I was 6 years old. I'm really into books. I love reading. I love listening to books. Audiobooks are amazing. I'm a big anime fan, big weeb. Love cartoons, commercials, even commercials. So it's like one day I had this audiobook, great little series for kids, and the narrator for this one audiobook was named Bill Lobley. And in this audiobook, he not only did the male characters where he was narrating Geronimo, he was narrating the female characters as well. So he was like going all the way up here. And it was like, I found it so funny. I was like, you know what? I want to do that too. And just like 12 years later, it's just stuck and I'm still doing it.
What was your training to be a voice actor?
So, even before I started taking formal classes, I've always wanted to do acting and stuff. So I would always practice, much to the chagrin of my parents, where it's like, if we were on the highway, I would be looking at the signs and I was like, next stop, I would be like pretending to be a GPS, like stop is coming. Like my parents would hate it. When a commercial came on, I would copy it. It was like, buy this, like the Gerber Life commercial that most of my generation knows. And then so when I really got into becoming a voice actor, they teach you take acting classes, right? So there's a studio here in Atlanta. It's very small. It's called the Atlanta Voiceover Studio. So I took my first class over with him, Brian Bremer. He is simply amazing. I did an intro class with him, an animation class, and basically I've taken multiple classes. I even had one yesterday. So, it's constant training. It's like an athlete where, you always want to learn more, build up on it. There's lots of training and there's more training to come.
That's a really good analogy. I like it a lot. And, you've been doing this and you've been training for this seemingly since you were a kid, as a 6-year-old in the car. What more, that's the perfect kind of training.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're doing what you're passionate about. In MLA Entertainment's Project Infinity, you give voice to Milo Mellinger, which I must say, you do really well. How did you find out about the role, and what did you do for your audition?
So this one's very unique, actually, because I actually didn't have an audition for Milo. Milo appeared back in episode 2, I believe. I need to check on that. But I wasn't the first voice of Milo. I'm the second voice. Someone else played him before. His name was Joshua Waters, or Tunnel VA on Twitter, who is absolutely talented. He's stunning on his own. He didn't have time to work on the show because, he has lots of other projects to do. Kiko found me, reached out to me saying, we need a voice match or someone it sounds as young as Joshua does to do the role. We heard your demo and, you sound great. And why don't you want to do it? And I'm like, obviously I want to do it. I would love to jump on that sort of thing. So starting with episode 6, I play Milo. After that, you'll hear me. And, the show, absolutely amazing. Kiko is very amazing. I remember for my first episode, or maybe the second episode, there's a line because I researched the character before. I know you talked to Tom. Basically, there was a casting call club audition before it, and Milo was one of the characters for it. And one of the lines on his audition was in my episode afterwards. So I managed to be able to hear Joshua's take on it and then kind of improve on it with my own voice. So it was, I did a lot of research on it, trying to make sure, like, oh my God, how do I make myself as good as Joshua? Because, yeah.
Well, you do it. You have done it, and you're continuing to do it.
Thank you.
What 3 things do you like most about your character?
It's just like, he's so cool. Like, it's just amazing, just like what he can get away with, or how naive and how young he is. Like his mom, I remember his dad works for the union. And I find it, very funny, like kind of dramatic irony style, where, if I'm saying it right, where it's like, he's working against everything his parents work for. I found that pretty entertaining, and how he just brushes off his mom in the latest episode, where he's like, oh, come on, mom, it's not that bad. Even though, like, there's literally people out for his arrest. So, like, I just find his naivety and his, like, his uncaring attitude to the world around him just fun. Like, everyone's dying around him, but he's like, he's all smiling and stuff.
I would agree with you. That is a great part about his character. He's blasé, indifferent, so long as he's enjoying himself. Oh, well. What kind of voice acting roles haven't you done yet that you would like to do?
Oh, that's a great question. And I feel like, I'm 18. I've been doing it for 4 years, but I've only recently entered the professional field. Like, I've been doing my online indie work. I've been building myself up there. I don't consider myself professional yet. Some people look up to me in that sort of way. But for me, it's like imposter syndrome, where I don't really, get it. So, and I really don't feel like I will get it until I do commercial work. Now, I have a commercial demo. I know commercial is very important to do. I've had auditions for commercial work. I just haven't had the chance to get that role yet. I've all been in animation so far. So the moment I can get into commercial, I would be really, really happy, with my career.
Well, please God, you will get it, and you will get something good really soon. I'm very confident that you will, because you've been doing this for a very long time. You've trained yourself almost, and then got the coaching, and you're very determined.
Thank you.
If you could go back in time and speak with a younger Kevin Cutliffe, what advice would you give him about becoming a voice actor?
So if you recall, when I just talked about how I got into it when I was 6 and I wanted to do it, even though it was in the back of my mind, it really wasn't my top priority. Like, I switched from like voice actor to actor to like YouTuber, because YouTubers were taking off around like 2012 and stuff. So like, even though voice acting was always a thing I wanted to do, I didn't prioritize it. So I think if I went back to a younger me, it'd be like, start earlier. Like, oh my God, even where I started when I was 14, that's crazy starting at that age. But if I started even younger, I could be, years ahead of where I am now. Who knows? Like, I feel like also, don't be afraid to talk to people. I was really afraid to reach out to other actors for a long time, because they have that celebrity vibe to them, even if they're not celebrities. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe he talked to me. But like, they're people too, right? So reach out, get that advice. I wish I had told myself that sooner.
Sounds like you've learned your lessons all the same. It sounds like you've made that leap to maturity at the age of 18. Many of us would wish to have your maturity and outlook at 18. I can tell you that one from personal experience.
Oh, P.
What is the most rewarding part of being a voice actor for you?
And I feel like I'm going to use this as a warning for any newcomers as well, that, it's not about money, right? Like money, getting paid for your work is a plus. The most rewarding thing for me and what I aspire to be as a voice actor is someone that people can listen to and just, relate to a character. If that character makes them happy and I add to that character because of my voice, I think that's the most rewarding thing for me. Every time I get done with a session and I see the final product, it's just, that's a reward in itself. Because like, wow, I did that. That's not me. That's my character, and I built that. So yeah.
It's very honest of you. Again, very, very mature of you for an 18-year-old. And again, you've got the right mindset to succeed in this. It is about enjoying it, about being pleased with the end product. It's not about the money. And
Hmm.
again, you confirm to me why you're going to succeed and one day make a lot of money doing this as well.
Thank you.
In your opinion, what is the hardest part of being a voice actor?
We were just talking about hustling, right? I mean, again, to newcomers, where people are like, you can just pick up a mic and do it. Being a voice actor is basically a full-time job. It's an entrepreneurship. I'm sure you can relate to that as a writer as well, where it's like you have those invoices you have to deal with. You need to reach out, market yourself to people. You gotta constantly audition over and over. It's like it's a full-time job where you email, you audition, it's like I feel like that's the hardest part of being a voice actor because some days you're just like, I don't want to do it. Right. Sometimes you just like, I just want to sometimes I just want to lay down and not use my voice. But, you got to keep doing it. You got to keep grinding, keep hustling. I'm sure even on Christmas Day, I'll be looking out and for some auditions and stuff because, you got to keep going.
This is one of my favorite questions to ask voice actors.
I was excited when I saw this one.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Let's say you have a cold or the flu one day, but you have some narration to record. What do you do to make your voice sound well and engaging rather than ill?
So most professionals will tell you, don't. You shouldn't be using your voice if you're sick because that's your main asset. If you get sick and it continues to be sick, you're screwed, right? I mean, if you lose your voice, that's gone. So I ignore that. I've pushed through some days to try to get some things done. Most of the time I will just speak to with the director and be like, I can't make it this day. But if I'm really determined to get a role done, which I've done before, Mucinex, just buy a bunch of Mucinex, drink a bunch of water, and pray to God that no one will hear the phlegm.
When people listen to your voice acting and talk to you about your work, whether it be in commercials one day or in Project Infinity, how does it make you feel?
When I saw this question, I think this was the one that made me think the most. And because, with professional voice actors as well that are more professional than me, um, good advice, bad advice, not advice, sorry, good feedback and bad feedback is a given. You're always going to get those types of people. But I feel like, I'd be honored either way. If it was good enough and someone made a comment, then wow, that's great. If it was so terrible that they had to make a comment as well, then that tells me something I need to fix. Like if it should be in the middle, right? Where, it was good enough. Well, if it was bad, well, if it's good, they should comment. But if it's bad and they don't comment, then it was passable, right? So, I feel like it makes me honored that people would just take some time to like get on their keyboard and talk. Like Kevin's voice is, it's an honor because I invoked that reaction with them.
I completely agree with you. And I think you've got a really good level head to deal with the criticism that will come your way. It's part of the territory. You know
I mean,
this.
totally. I mean, the criticism hurts because, that's, we put a lot of time into getting it. And I'm sure, especially when you don't do it, it's easier to say, oh, this sounds bad. But I mean, I understand where it comes from, right? And that's ultimately what it is. Like, it's going to hurt, but you got to understand, like, people have opinions.
outside of voice acting, what do you like to do in your spare time?
You know, as an 18-year-old, I'm fresh out of high school as of last week, actually. So, like I love playing video games. Anime. I'm a big weeb. I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of anime. Also watch a lot of commercials. I don't skip the commercials because you got to listen to them to know where it's at. But no, recently I've been in gaming territory. I have a big collection on a shelf over here, and so yeah, that's pretty much it. COVID has kind of just brought me down to those two things these days. Haven't really gone out much.
Join the rest of us about going out. Lastly, and I cannot believe we're on the last question already.
Yeah,
Is there
wow.
anything? Yeah, exactly. Is there anything else you'd like to say that you haven't already in this interview?
I'd like to say that you're awesome. No, but well, you are. But
Thank you.
is there anything else I'd like to say? Well, I had someone actually just come up to me recently. How do I get into voiceover? And I have a friend as well who gets depressed a lot when they don't get a role quickly. So it's like where I just said I just got my first professional role. I started it 4 years ago. Um, it's a slow boil, right? I want to say to anyone new watching, you're gonna have to take some time. You probably will age a bit before you get there, but you've got this, And to any professionals that are looking at this, I want to say, thank you for watching the interview.
And that's all I have for you today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you have enjoyed this interview with the voice actor, Kevin Cutliffe. Like, comment, and hit that subscribe button, and tell me, what did you think of the interview? Do you agree that Kevin is very passionate about voice acting? In the description below, I have left links to Kevin's social media accounts and to his website. Filmmakers, take note. If you are looking for a young, upcoming and very motivated voice actor to do some narration work for your commercials and or animation, then Kevin is your man. Check out his materials and get in touch with him now. Moreover, my debut fantasy novella, The Sultan's Daughter, is out. If you are looking for a book that is short, fast-paced and full of suspense, then check it out. I have left a link in the description below for that as well. Otherwise, until next time, keep well. Once again, guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it and I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button and then you will be the first to receive more awesome content from my channel, and I hope to see you again soon.